What's the biggest story of the day, I hear you asking? Of course, it's Halo Infinite from Xbox Game Studios and 343 Industries. The trailer starts with the making of the Mjolnir exosuit with liquid crystal in titanium alloy. The demo starts and we see the date as May 28th, 2560. The demo takes place 167 days after we lose to the Banished from Halo Wars 2. So I know we're starting there. I'm hoping that we go back and get some flashbacks to see how exactly we lost the war. We see Master Chief and the pilot from the E3 2019 demo crash land on the Halo. The Halo was damaged in the war and is being repaired by the Banished. We see that later in the trailer. The Banished are the main bad guys of the game, which is pretty cool because them being used in Halo Wars 2, I was like, oh man, it would be cool to fight against them in a regular Halo, and boom, now we're going to get that opportunity. The lighting, weapon audio, and environmental draw distance in this trailer was amazing. I was very impressed with that. Make sure if you watched it live, I don't think it was streaming in 4K, so go back and watch it in 4K on the Xbox YouTube channel or on Morrpix.com, Morrpix. We see Master Chief get into the famous Warthog and drive off. They bring up the map and it shows available missions that you can tackle in any order. So there are 3 missions. You can go do this one first, that one first, or that one first. It's all up to you, whatever you want to do. It looks like you can rotate the map down from the top-down view and actually get a sense of the scale, the height of it. So that was pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of Horizon Zero Dawn's map, which is pretty cool. There's also an upgrades and database tab at the top of the screen when you bring up the menu. I know they're talking about upgrades to your armor, not necessarily like he's going to have powers or anything crazy like that. You know, hold your horses. Don't type in the comments. We see Master Chief drive past areas which may hold potential side missions and more info for the world. The weapons we've seen, I did like pause and look at some of these things because they showed 5 new weapons in this. So the weapons we see in the trailer include the assault rifle, the pistol, the pulse carbine, which we already know all those. But then the new ones were the VK-78 Commando, which is a tactical rifle with kinetic ammo. It's automatic firing. The Ravager, which was a launcher with plasma ammo and burst fire. The Mangler, which seems to be a revolver-like heavy pistol, and the CQS-48 Bulldog, which is a shotgun with kinetic and spread. Now, the Ravager, I can't wait to play with that one. Pyrotax Relief, that is my weapon of choice, just so you know off top. In a separate trailer, we also seen the Plasma Sword and a new electrocution ability, which is probably going to tie into that upgrade system. Let's see. We see the Banished arriving dropships just straight out the sky, 3 of them, boom, 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 right in front of Chief. That was pretty cool. It seems like when you're shooting characters in the legs, it appears to make them stumble. One of the characters was running at Master Chief. He shot him in the legs and he stumbled forward. So that was pretty cool. We see Master Chief deploy a drop shield to stop one of the grenades coming from the Banished. Master Chief now has a grappling hook, which I see what you did there. That was good. He has a grappling hook that can be used to ascend to new areas, grab explosives to throw at enemies, or grapple to enemies, and you can end it with a melee attack or like a melee weapon. He appears to have a rocket-powered melee weapon that lifts the Banished into the air just for easy shots. Let's see. We see Master Chief go up an elevator to one of the 3 anti-aircraft guns that he's trying to disable in this trailer. We only see him do one. The elevator and the grappling hook point to a focus on verticality. They didn't just want to make it wider, they wanted to make it grander, taller, wider, all of it. There's wildlife in the environment that adds to the feeling of the environment being a living world. There are explosive canisters in the world that you can use to your advantage, you know what I'm saying? Oh, a red barrel, wow. There are turrets in the world that can be turned against the Banished, of course, you know. We see those from older Halo games or whatever, but they're redesigned, and it's always nice to blow up the grunt with their own weapon. Let's see. Once all enemies are cleared, we see the Master Chief ascend into a Banished ship. We hear a message from a new Banished leader. While he talks, we see a map of all the UNSC signals transition from green, which means they're alive, to red, which means they're dead. The Banished leader tells us the ring is under their control, which is definitely scary because it wipes out all life in the universe, if you didn't know. Halo Infinite will be optimized for Xbox Series X. It will release holiday 2020. It will be available on Windows PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. You can purchase the Xbox One version and upgrade to the Xbox Series X version via smart delivery, or get both versions in Xbox Game Pass. Per 343 Industries studio head of Halo Infinite, Chris Lee, Halo Infinite is several times larger than the last 2 Halo games combined. Halo Infinite is built from the ground up to take advantage of the Xbox Series X. We can expect bigger battles, epic vistas, more complex visual effects displayed with 10 times the processing power per pixel than Halo 5. Halo Infinite will run at 60 frames per second, and the first look at multiplayer will arrive in the coming months. Now, we're supposed to be getting this event in August that's going to detail hardware. Either at that event or the event right after. I'm sure we'll see the multiplayer for that. If there's an event in August, it's probably going to come before Wasteland 3. They're probably going to focus on Wasteland 3 for that month. Yeah, I'm just excited. I'm ready for more Halo. Xbox Games Marketing GM Aaron Greenberg said Halo Infinite is a spiritual reboot to the series. They work to modernize Halo and offer an open, expansive, and explorable world. The campaign will run at 60 frames per second, which is great because I think the last campaign ran at 30 frames per second, which is kind of standard for, single player campaigns. 60 frames is more so for multiplayer modes. And we will play as Master Chief the whole time. Now, I wasn't necessarily as upset about the lock thing as most other people were. I just wish the story was longer. And I wish there was more conflict between Locke and Chief. Go ahead and comment down there and tell me why I'm wrong. But yeah, it's nice to hear that we'll be playing as Master Chief the whole game. Per IGN Podcast Unlocked, Halo Infinite will be an open world with a linear story. There is a Metroidvania style to the game. Some areas you can't visit until you have the equipment or the upgrades to go back. Halo Infinite will be a game as a platform like Destiny and others. Halo 1 is a huge inspiration for Infinite, which you can tell by the armor and just the setting. It's just obviously a huge inspiration for it. The pilot is potentially a huge revelation. We have yet to learn his identity, and it may be very important. We'll see. There is a day-night cycle in this game, and you can watch the trailer now at Morrpix.